founder of Rich Brands. And I have Rich Kozak with me today, and we are going to have a great, powerful conversation for you. Rich, welcome to my show.
Hi, Ann. It's a pleasure to be here, and I love what you do. I love what the Expert in You stands for, and we're going to share a couple golden nuggets today that nobody who's listening to this has ever heard, will land on them, and literally could bless their business and their life in some powerful ways. So get a pen. Okay? Yeah.
Every show you're going to want to get a pen, because I'm giving something like their best stuff to give it straight to you. So this is wonderful. So Rich, you've been at this building brands, being a brand architect, and doing all of this for many, many years, decades, in fact.
Right.
And I would love for you just to give a very quick overview of who you serve and exactly what you do with them.
Well, experienced entrepreneurs, professionals, and business owners who have been doing things really well, and even better and better for years, often decades, know they're not done, and they want to take their impacts higher or broader or wider, and they feel like they're stuck at the starting gate to the next level, and they don't know how to get through the gate because it's kind of feels locked. And they know branding is important, but they don't trust it. The world sells branding weird ways. Marketing service sellers claim they can help your brand, but they couldn't tell you what makes a brand come alive if you lit them on fire. So there's all this distrust and skepticism, confusion and frustration and intimidation around the area of branding. But when people hear that it's just a process, it's steps.
Right.
I've been teaching that. I mean, I've been teaching branding first in most of my career, decades, to big companies, from startups to the largest client I had was a $14 billion company, a public company, served in an agency where we had partners in 21 countries, and I served on global brand teams. So I did that for a long time, but for the last 8 going on 9 years, I only serve individuals, and it's those individuals who know there's more, want to take it to another level, and they don't know how to build the steps to the next, to the next story of that house. And so that's whom I serve, and why I do what I do, I think is really important, and it makes me unique. So I resigned my addictive career at the agency at 50 years old. I changed my prayer, Lord, I'm resigning this addictive career. Show me what you want me to do. I'm ready. And I started listening, and it didn't take very long, but people in my network, because I'm a consummate networker, you might imagine, asked me to help them with their individual brands. Some really visionary people wanted to do big things. They said, look, you're brilliant, really want your help. And I'm like, I don't do that anymore. They said, that's not true. You sit down with all of us and you teach us, you talk about our businesses. Like, you never stopped, you just don't charge us for it. But I want to pay you, And I'm like, okay. So I actually did 3 in a row. 1 month, 2 months, 3. 3 came to me in like a month apart. And when I was finishing the 3rd, all different industries, it doesn't matter what the industry is, but it doesn't matter what you do. Process is the process. And I'm applying this process that I use to teach big companies and guide them through the steps of assessing their brand, looking at their business, their strategy, where they're going, what their purpose is. That usually it's a business purpose, and then helping them evolve the brand. And I did that with these individuals, and I realized that when individuals, and I'm talking to you right now, if you're listening. If you get excited about the impacts that you clearly see having on those whose lives you touch, maybe it's not an individual, maybe it's an industry, maybe it's a company, maybe it's a type of company. Okay, but if you get excited about the impacts that you clearly see in your mind's eye having, and maybe you're already having them, maybe you just see you can have them because you're going to go to another level and have them. When you clearly see those and write them down, it is possible to define the brand you must become to make those impacts. Here's what happens when you do it, and it's just steps. Here's what happens. Everything your brand says and does aligns with those impacts, and you get there faster, and you get to the money faster, And I will tell you something, this is one of the golden nuggets that we'll talk about, Ann and I today, is a level that you might not have anticipated, don't even think about. There's a level called an umbrella brand. What you do and what you're expert at is what you're expert at today. What you've been doing for a long time is what you've been doing, and you're good at it, and maybe you get credit for it, and maybe you don't. Okay, that's one of the problems. But it's maybe not why you're here. And so when you use these steps and make sure that you get credit in a unique ways for what makes you outstanding in your business, in the business you envision, that creates a platform from which it's much easier to step into why you're here, to step into purpose. And we're all here for the same reason, to make the most significant impact on those whose lives we touch with the gifts we've been given. So is this about branding? Okay.
No, it's so much deeper than that. And I think one of the things you said is you're not getting credit for what you do and for the things that you are, the impact that you want to make. And that's so true. So often brands hurt people's credibility instead of enhancing their credibility, because
that's true. It is true.
Because it's just not clear. The language isn't clear. The brand isn't clear. There's such a disconnect in what they're trying to accomplish and what their brand says about them. And so I love brands and branding as well. And so we're going to kind of geek out on this a little bit, but I love this because so often people are just missing, they have in their heart to make an impact, but they're missing those opportunities because their brand is not bringing those opportunities to them. It's not shining the light on them the way it could be. And as a result, they don't get to make the impact or the income or any of the things that they actually want to do.
What I've learned in working with individuals, I mean, I've been working with individuals my entire career, but now my focus is on people who are often solopreneurs, or, like one of the examples I'll share is a woman who runs a bookkeeping business, but she has 15 employees. It's pretty successful bookkeeping, like, how boring. But she knows that if you don't do the right things and connect, if you don't have the right tech stack, wait a minute. Tech stack before you get a bookkeeper talking about tech stack. Yeah, it will stop you from growing quickly and big. And so literally she wasn't getting credit for this is the first example. So I'm going to get real tangible. I'm looking off screen because I'm looking. Okay. So her category of expertise, which she didn't have a way to say it. The way we test it when we create a category of expertise that's unique and compelling is we say the woman speaking at the Rapid Growth Business Conference is an expert at. Mm-hmm. Hers is as an expert at simplifying the critical tech and accounting decisions for your business to reach millions. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, who is she? When is she speaking? It's like it has two things. It has plain English language. Mm-hmm. We know all those words, just put together in a way that transfers energy. Unique language that transfers energy makes a brain come alive. And it positions her by saying what she does in a way that nobody else does. Positioning uniquely. And it has a baked-in, intangible brand promise for people who care about their business growing quickly and reaching millions. And it says, look, if you don't, there are critical tech and accounting. I mean, those guys don't even talk, right? Yeah, tech and accounting decision. And she's expert at that.
Right.
I'm in.
Yeah.
If I'm in an elevator with her and she says that, I would go, oh, you know what? I got to go, but can I have your card? The brand comes alive. And that's the difference. It comes alive and attracts exactly whom it's meant to attract. That's what good positioning and that's what good crafting categories of expertise to get credit for what makes you outstanding is all about. So, I don't enjoy this, by the way. I have no fun doing this.
I can tell you're passionate about, but you know what? You and I really align on this because it's one of my favorite as as well, and really extract that value from them and figure out, okay, what does that look like to a consumer or to somebody, obviously, that's going to buy your services. So I love this. One of the things you hit on, and I just want to bring this up, is you created a result in there, and that's so important in your brand language, in your message, that result is in there, and it does help you stand out. It does make you unique. And also the fact that you added the value of the tech and the accounting, you again put those two things together, which also made her stand out. So there were a couple of things in there that actually made her sound very different from just an accounting firm.
I spoke yesterday at a conference that was run by a woman who teaches people how to speak without fear and impactfully and so forth. And the name of the topic was the clarity with which your brand speaks shapes its impact. And one of the points, and I didn't plan on sharing it today, but I can do it in one sentence. There are two types of clarity that are often missing that make a brand fall flat. And you just mentioned one of them, and I'll be very specific. It's the way it's the words a brand uses to paint a picture after it says to a target audience, here's what I see for you. You're talking about the outcomes, the result. Here's what I see for you. People's antenna go up when you paint that picture clearly and consistently to that target audience. They know you see it and they want it. You just have to say it the way that resonates with them and say it with gravitas from a position of knowingness.
Yes.
But that's missing in most brands. And because it is, they fall flat because it's not clear. Yeah.
A lot of times they use platitudes and things like that and jargon.
For features, we do this, we do that.
Doesn't land. Or how about, we're number one in the market. Prove that. Like how do you prove that?
Yeah.
So we could talk about this all day, but okay. So here's the thing. I want to give also some real insights. How do you get your clients? What is your favorite way to get business in your business?
I'd have to say speaking, because when people hear me talk about branding, it's not filled with jargon. It's straight talk. I've been doing this for going on 48 years now.
Oh, you had me beat by about 6 years or something.
I've also been married for 48 years this month and 53 Valentine's days in February. So it's like I'm on a roll here. But I've been doing this so long, and my career has included all areas of marketing. And I mean all. I ran a high-tech ad agency, ran new business for them. I worked with a research firm for years. I was a product manager for a Fortune 50 company in a factory. I did field sales, so industrial sales. It's like of all these pieces of marketing, and I created a lot of businesses of my own and named them and created identities for them. And now all these things that we're doing with individuals, it's like if it happens, I've probably experienced it and seen it. So there's no time. We only have so much time. There's no time for jargon. There's no time for entrancing language about essence and micro niches and all of that hogwash that people use to tell you that you don't know enough to champion your own brand. I say baloney. We don't do that. We call a target audience, and you can have more than one. Hello, it's reality. I have some clients who have 13. I have 4, and I turned it into 3 because one of them was an earlier version of a later one, and I just combined them. And that's the one you and I both focus on, and that's, experienced and expert professionals or entrepreneurs, business owners, and they're already successful, but they want to take it further.
Hi, friend. I have an exciting announcement. I hope you're enjoying this episode of Expert in You podcast, but I have to ask you, have you checked out the latest issue of Expert in You magazine yet? It's jam-packed with rich content, powerful strategies, inspiring stories, and so much more to help you elevate your business and personal growth. Don't miss out. Go grab your digital copy now and join our community of experts making a difference every day. Go to expertinyoumagazine.com and check out your digital copy today. Transform your expertise into success with Expert in You magazine. It's not just a publication, it is a movement.
Speaking is your favorite way to get clients. You and I, again, are so aligned on this, whether you're speaking virtually, like on a podcast, or you are speaking on a stage, all of those. I'm always about speak, sell, scale. Speak, sell, scale. I mean, it is your fastest path.
And
find different ways to do that.
And the connecting point is I offer an individual whom I don't even know to just put their name on my calendar. I literally say, go to richbrands.org. That's my website, richbrands.org. It says right above the fold on the homepage, talk to Rich for 30 minutes. People joke, you've been doing this for 48 years, man. You should be on a yacht or on a beach. And I'm on Zoom. Come on. It's like, and I'm saying like,
be on a yacht.
you can just go there and we talk and I listen. I realize I'm doing talking now, but if you take, half an hour to tell and talk to me about who you are and what you do and what you envision and the way you impact, things start to change. And I don't charge for that. And that's ridiculous, but I get to do it. You heard why I do it. I believe that the impacts in people's hearts are put there by the Creator. And so I got over it when I started working with these individuals. I was sitting in a choir loft in church, and it's kind of came to me like, wait, so I'm getting these people to write down the impacts they clearly see. And it happens faster. It's like, but we're all here for a reason. It's like, oh my God, this is not my work. It's God's work. And now it feels like love.
Amen.
It's like, how can you? That's crazy. Wait a minute. Is a branding guy talking like that? Yeah. Hey, look, get over it.
It's funny. I just put up a post the other day on Facebook, which got a lot of interaction. And I said, I get asked when I'm going to retire. And I say, why would I retire from a business that I love and a life that I've always dreamed about?
Good.
So I totally believe in everything that you're saying. Okay, so you get clients through speaking, and what do you wish through all your years of experience, what do you wish would have been easier or is easier in business? Because so often entrepreneurs think things should be easy. And hey, the reality, it's work, right? It's work to build a business. So what do you think should be easier or that you would like to be easier?
The thing that really comes to mind is, in my experience, is I was made to understand and to talk about how important it is, but not to do it, is to build the digital marketing machine that is consistent and productive and scalable to drive interested people that don't even know what the work is we do or who I am or what's here into entry portal events. I love doing events, and I do events on Zoom. I do 3 every month, 2 free masterclasses and a half day called Branding You with Impact that really shifts people's understanding of what happens when you define in language a brand clearly and what happens when you don't. And then I do some mini trainings on logos and taglines to give them do's and don'ts, because it'll save them maybe tens of thousands of dollars. And on how do you prioritize message hierarchy? It's like, these are not difficult. and anyway, and so that creating the marketing machine and getting it consistent so that, if you put $1 in it, more than $1 comes out. I wish that were way easier, and I wish I would have done things differently in the beginning. To me, part of the solution is finding the right people who aren't just selling stuff, but they care and they really know how to do it and have done it, and you find them and you pay them.
Yeah, I agree with you. And so what's next for Rich? We're going into 2025. You've accomplished so much in your career. You're still a man after a mission. So what is next for you?
Oh, I get to do this, and it's broadening the exposure
Mhm.
of the voice of impact-driven branding, and the fact that there is a process and that everyone worldwide has access to it
Mhm.
and can do it, and maybe can get a little help, but can do it. I look at it this way, and I'll be very specific. It's building a YouTube channel that really rocks. And I don't know how to do that, and I don't want to know how to do that. But there's someone in my network who is an absolute drop down deep expert at using video, and now he runs his agency and it focuses only on YouTube for specific reasons. It's the biggest platform worldwide. It's converting into multi-language, using AI. And so that's one. I'm leaning heavily into the area of summits for myself and for me to be on others. Summits as a speaker, working with someone who's expert and I trust very much. He ran a summit of mine called the Clarity Summit last year, where I interview world-class experts for golden nuggets that will help people move their lives forward. Matter of fact, you and I should talk about that. I'd like you on one. And the way I look at it is this. My prayer every morning is, Lord, put in front of me those people whose lives or businesses you want me to touch with this gift, and give me the eyes and ears and the wisdom to know who they are. So that's a very unscalable one-on-one sounding thing, but not necessarily. So if I don't do anything, nothing will happen. But if I'm out there, the more I'm out there, the more God can do his work. So it's like, if I'm not out there, perhaps I'm spitting in God's eye. So it's the next level is about getting out there.
Yeah.
My book, Impact Driven Branding, 7 Steps to Ensure Your Brand Impacts People's Lives. It is a how-to book, will be published in 2025. And the publisher is me, Impact Driven Publishing. But one of the next level things is it's very possible that my publishing company might find its way under the wing of a major publisher, and that could be absolutely thrilling. And I'm working with them right now. So, whew.
You have a lot.
And I bring my clients, we help our clients conceive, outline, language, and write books that are stakes in the ground to move their brands along strategically. And so it all falls together. Movies are involved, possibly, because sometimes a book or a life can turn into a movie.
Wow, that's amazing.
Remarkable.
Good for you. Awesome. That's amazing. All right, Rich. So how can people get a hold of you? I know I could talk to you all day long. We literally could talk about this for hours.
I know.
For a quick conversation. So,
Wow.
how can people get a hold of you?
The easiest way is on my website, rich@richbrands.org. And right at the top, it says, talk to Rich for 30 minutes. If you're not ready to get on just put yourself on my calendar link, because that's what it'll do. And you and I'll be talking at a time that's convenient for you. If you aren't ready to do that, just email me at rich@richbrands.org. Send me an email and tell me about you.
And he's on LinkedIn too. You can find him on LinkedIn.
And we'll plan to connect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I could pitch because I do that monthly event all the time. I do an event. Here's an easy way too. And you can put this in the show notes, brandfirstorDie.com. Okay. I do a 60-minute masterclass that talks about, look, if you want to take your life of impacts you've already made it to a story of legacy, if you don't evolve the way your brand, if you don't evolve your brand, and that's intimidating people. So let's define that. A brand is a perception. And so if you don't evolve the way your target audience to make that higher level perceives you and what you're capable of, chances are you'll fall flat. So brand first or die. like it's critical. Your marketing at its best is the execution of an excellent branding strategy. So
Yeah.
60-minute masterclass, brandfirstorDie.com. I do it twice a month. Come on. So my website, brandfirstorDie.com, my website, richbrands.org. Talk to Rich for 30 minutes. Just talk to me about you. It'll be a blessing for your business and for your life, I believe.
We will put all of that in the show notes as well. And, you know, one of the things you said is, well, brand first. It is the foundation for all of your marketing. So if you don't have that strong foundation, it's like building a house on sand. It's not going to hold up. And that's exactly what happens when people start marketing and doing lead generation, but they don't have a strong brand as the foundation for their business. So absolutely the first thing.
The take-home point from that is it's consistency across the board builds trust. Inconsistency destroys trust. And so when you do this and do that, or pay third-party marketers and they use their language, but it's not congruent with your heart, it starts to do the 6 bad consequences.
Yeah.
It creates confusion or misinformation. You don't get credit for what makes you outstanding. You waste a lot of money on marketing. You think the marketing didn't work. But maybe it was that there wasn't enough clarity baked into your brand, probably. Just saying.
Yes, 100%. That's a great conversation. Thank you. And we'll put all of that information in the show notes. You can go grab that, connect with Rich, have that conversation with him. You can tell he is an expert. He knows what he's doing. So thank you so much for tuning in to Expert in You Showcase. Rich, thank you for being here with me.
What a delight. Thank you, Ann. You're amazing, and I love what you do. Listen to Ann. She really knows.